Good morning and welcome back to another episode of Business Beyond the Beach in partnership with our friends here at Miami Community Newspapers. My name is Brittnie Bassant. I'm the president and CEO of the Miami Beach Chamber of Commerce, and we're so thrilled to welcome you back for another episode. Want to give a huge shout out to our coffee sponsor, Maman. They have locations all across Miami-Dade County, but of course, our favorite is their Sunset Harbor location in South Beach. Today, I have with me Valerie Navarrete. She is the founder, president, and CEO of Favela Miami, which is a local nonprofit located right in the heart of Miami Beach. Valerie, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure to be here.
We're so thrilled to jump right in and learn about your story. We're going to talk about Favela, obviously, because that's your baby, that's your passion, that's what everyone knows
that's
you.
Right, it's my baby.
Yes, that's what everyone knows you as. But you're a Miami Beach. You're a Miami Beach girl. You've lived there for a long time. You've built up like your career there. You're a realtor, but you're also a resident. You're a community activist. You've just done so much in that city. So talk to me about how you have managed to make all of those things intersect and how it's shaped your journey.
I have been in Miami Beach for 33 years. And I always thought that you need to give it back to the community. And since I've been here in Miami Beach, I feel very safe. So I hit the streets, I do my job, and when I have a time, I like to talk to the homeless, for example, and help in whichever way that I can. And the community in general, you start meeting people, you see how you can improve. That's my neighborhood, it's my home, not just inside my four walls, but outside is my home as well. So, with time, I start getting involved. There was one thing and another one and another one. And it's all about improving the lives of, self and others. And when you improve the life of somebody else, it also affects you. So it's just, we're all together in the same sea.
Well, you, like you said, you've been in Miami Beach for 33 years, which is incredible. And you have dedicated decades to helping and advocating for the homeless. And I think that that's so important, especially in a city like Miami Beach where, we do struggle with that problem. What inspired you? I know you say you felt safe in the city, which we love hearing, right? You feel safe in the city, you get out there, you're on the streets, you're walking around, you're talking to individuals. And it's one thing to sort of like walk down the street, talk to a homeless individual, maybe help them out with, a meal or some money and have a brief fleeting interaction with them. But you took it one step further and you founded an entire organization dedicated to combating this problem and fixing it and helping the lives of these individuals. So what really, truly inspired you to do that?
Actually, you said the word fixing. I like just instead of giving the fish, I like to teach the men how to fish.
Right.
So a lot of other people and organizations, they go and do feedings. I don't like to do the feedings. I like to actually ask questions and use psychology and see exactly what is keeping them on the streets. And once I find that out, I start using my connections, all the people that I know, and see who can help. You never know who can help. And with that, of course, after 33 years, my agenda of connections grew and grew and grew. And now I have, with all the shelters and mental health, I focus a lot on mental health because I realized that there is a lot of that going on in the street, the invisible disease, with the rehabs. A lot of people, they self-medicate, so I like to help them to put their lives together and really fix the problems. We used to have a lot of homeless on the beach, and due to the work of the city of Miami Beach, they have an amazing department that they have a team that works on that. The police department also has a team that work on that. And myself, Favela, all this teamwork, we have decrease significantly the amount of homeless on the beach.
And how long has Favela been around? Like when did you start that organization?
Well, here's the thing. I have different answers, but because I've been doing this for 33 years since I got here in this country. Facebook made me famous. So a lot of people think that I've been doing this for 16 years. No, just Facebook made me famous.
That's amazing.
And the favela is 6-7 years old.
But that's still
and the gala
impactful.
I really developed because I have a gala.
Yes, I was going to ask you. Well, of course, we have to talk about your gala. I was going to do it towards the end, but
we can do it.
No, jump right in. So the gala. So when's the gala? Talk about the gala.
It's going to be at the night before Halloween on October 30th. And the tickets, it's going to be on the website. I have a site. I'll give you later.
And we'll link all of your content information. We'll link your site when we post this video. But yes, we've got
it's
a gala
going to be
coming
very
up.
Nice. 5-course dinner, drinks, entertainment, and it's really inexpensive. And $95 for all that. It's going to be an awesome night.
That's amazing.
And we have auctions, online auctions, including a membership from the Miami Beach Chamber of Commerce.
Great way to get a membership at a steal. But yes, I mean, what an incredible, right? Galas are always fun. You know, you got great food, drinks, dancing, silent auction, but more importantly, you are helping and you are contributing, you're making a difference and you're contributing to something greater. And like, yes, it's a great fun night out and you'll have a great time with your friends, but the underlying part of it is that you are contributing to a mission and you're making a difference.
Because what I like to do is that, use that money for helping them to go back to the workforce, to put their life together, to fix the problem, getting them off the street, going to either relocate back with family or, rehab or whatever they need, like I mentioned, but most importantly, going to a shelter, going back to the workforce. And once they are established on a work, then we start looking for housing. So now they have their life back together, and that's the beautiful part.
Right. It's not just a Band-Aid on a problem. It's a proper fix. It's proper access to resources to be able to make sure that they're on the right track, which I think is so incredible. And the proceeds from the gala benefit the work directly. And so it's a tangible result. So that's incredible.
This is a volunteer thing that I do, by the way.
This is completely volunteer. We'll talk about your real job in a minute because we love Favela and we love our nonprofits and we love being able to shine a light on the nonprofits that are doing amazing work in our community. But we are going to talk about what you do professionally. But you did mention that you work really closely with the police and that you serve. I know that you serve on like civilian volunteer patrols and you're on a number of committees, and like really tell me about what draws you to sort of like that public service, that civic duty of giving back.
You see, as a realtor, so as a realtor, I'm all over the city. And with the homeless, I am all over the city. And so I'm very connected with the community. And because of the homeless advocacy, I became very politically active as well. And with that, I start going to all the neighborhood association meetings and seeing what they need, what they don't need. And I just like to help. I can't help it.
You can't help helping. Jeez,
I can't
Valerie.
help helping. You know what? I love it.
Yeah.
But when somebody needs something, I just offer. How can I help you? What can I do for you? How can I communicate? Being a bridge. I love putting people together, and so it just, for me, something natural. It just happened, and from one thing it leads to another. So eventually, the civilian volunteer patrol was created, and I was the first one. I jump in, and I'm CVP 1. That we all have numbers.
That's a title to have. CVP 1.
I'm number 1.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm CVP 1 because in the first group, and the victims advocate also volunteer
and guardian ad litem. You've done that as well.
Guardian ad litem, it's very hard. It's very hard. Volunteer with helping the kids. I have so many. I have to look at my phone on my. To tell you the truth,
she has a chart in Excel that she keeps track of all of the organizations and all the different things that she's doing.
I love volunteer. I'm a professional volunteer.
So I
wish there was a salary for that.
So in your free time.
What free time? I don't know.
You're a realtor, apparently, right? Because you're doing all of this other stuff with the community and you're like so involved in Miami Beach and you're working with our homeless and you're working with our police and you're working with our neighborhood associations and you're just like a community advocate and activist and a true, public servant. And in your free time, you help sell some houses every once in a while. So let's talk about your career as a realtor. Tell me a little bit about that.
I love putting people in homes, whether I'm making money out of it or not, putting people in homes.
Whether they're buying it or you're just helping them get their life back on track. Like, I just want you in a home. That's Valerie's motto.
That became a thing. But yes, no, I do love real estate. And we have a terrific market. Miami Beach, I focus in the entire south of Florida, but Miami Beach is more than 50% of my business because I live here. And again, 33 years of knowledge from north to south of Miami Beach. I know every single part of it. The market is great. It's time to buy. Just saying.
And to give you a call to help with that, right?
That would be very nice.
Okay, so you are a pillar member of the Miami Beach Chamber of Commerce. Thank you so much for your investment in our organization. And as we have established, you are a very active civic leader in our community. So what do you see? Because you have so many different lenses. You have as a resident, you have as a professional, you have as a community advocate. What do you see some of the best ways that the residents and the business community and everyone in the city can collaborate to strengthen Miami Beach?
You see, in my logo, if you look, you see on my logo, yes, Favela Miami community ending homelessness. Because I believe the community, whether it's homelessness or any the subject, but with the community, we all have to be united. We all have to be together. We cannot, and on the homeless in the per se, we can't just leave that up to the government. It's just a governmental problem. It's a social problem, I believe. So I believe that the government, the residents, and the businesses, we all have together to work together. I'm sorry, to solve this problem. And that's why, and the chamber has been amazing, because now I have contact, and especially being a pillar, with a pillar I have contact with the decision makers, and they are helping me a lot to provide jobs to my sheltered individuals, because now they are no longer homeless. They have a home, which is the shelter. So I call them the sheltered individuals. And they help me. They help me, the other chamber members, they help me find them jobs.
Absolutely.
Give them jobs.
That's absolutely amazing. I love what you said, a community coming together. I firmly believe that a rising tide lifts all boats and that we are stronger together. And if you win, then I win and the community wins, and it's across the board.
That, you just said the magical word. We all win. The businesses are suffering because, you have homeless outside the business. Whether you were storefront or in the building, they suffer. People sometimes they are afraid to go to a store or to a building because there is a homeless acting up, because there is a mental illness. And especially this year, I'm focusing a lot on the mental illness. But all of us, we suffer. The moms walking around with their kids look at the homeless, they don't understand. That's how I started. When I first saw a homeless, I was 5 years old and I couldn't understand what was happening. It deeply shocked me. That's why we're here today. I got so shocked when I was 5 that it stayed with me. That thing stays.
Right.
And so it affects every single one of us in one way or another.
And that's why the community needs to come together, because it will affect all of us,
Yes.
The good and the bad, the positive and the negative. So I want to go a little off script right now. I'm really curious to know, do you have like a favorite feel-good story of like throughout the years that you've been working with Favela, or even before you officially started the nonprofit, but just throughout your decades of advocacy with the homeless community, do you have like,
oh my God,
like one story that like resonates?
You're gonna be sorry you asked that, because I have so many.
Well, give me the best. Give me the feel good. I want to feel
you have
good
to
one,
stop
Valerie.
And I tell when people, I love talking in public, and I love being invited, not just for this talk, but to the community. I also like to educate the community what it means to be homeless, because the more the people know, the more they help. So, and I always tell them at that part that they have to stop me. So you have to stop me. So there is, and I have that on my website. There was this gentleman that one time, his sisters from New Jersey, they called me and they said that they saw a video, because sometimes I interview them, and with their permission, I post them on Facebook. Like I said,
right, Facebook made you famous.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
so wait, so you posted a video of this gentleman and his sisters from New Jersey saw it? Okay,
When
tell me the story.
reposted.
Tell me the story. I'm jumping ahead. Tell me the story. I'm like making it up in my head. Okay.
Okay. So I'm out on the streets. I'm on Collins and 23rd with my son. My son is my cameraman with his iPad. And I see this group of homeless on a weekend. And I asked one of them, can I interview you? And he said, well, no, because, I don't want to be on an interview. Fine. So then, but his friend said, oh, you can interview me. He was an older man. So I'm interviewing him. We're sitting in the ledge, and there was this gentleman. I'm in the middle, and the other one is a little bit farther to my right. My son, it's in front of us. So we are talking like we are talking over here. And at one point, the gentleman made a gesture, and he pointed to his friend. So my son moved the camera for a couple of seconds, and he was laughing. So he showed the guy for a couple of seconds, and he made a laugh, and he had this particular laugh that's very him, the only one.
Very unique, very identifying.
Unique.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. And so I posted that, and people repost. You know how it goes. And eventually, somebody in New Jersey saw it, And I received this phone call. I'm working actually on my free time. I was working on real estate.
Right, of
And I
course.
remember it was a weekday, and I remember so clear. I'm in the computer and I'm doing a search for a client, and they were waiting for that email. So I'm like, and the phone rings, and and I'm talking, and this lady starts saying, this video, and I'm like, yeah. Well, that's my brother. So then I stopped, and I'm looking at the phone, and she said, we thought he was dead because we communicate via Messenger on Facebook. And for the past 3-something months, we haven't heard from him. He's not responding, and we thought he was dead. And when we saw your video, so then we called the police, and then we mentioned, and the police gave me your number. So, because following Miami Beach, there's only one. So, yes, so the police gave them my number. So she called me. Now we are talking. Now it's both of us crying on the phone.
Oh my gosh.
And I said, listen, I'm working. I have to do this job. But as soon as I finish, I go look. So we hang up the phone. And then I'm trying to work. And guess what? I couldn't focus. I just couldn't focus. And I said, that's it. I just ran out. I called the police officer that also knew the story and gave the number. So I call Officer Yamoka, now Sergeant Yamoka, and I'm like, come over here. To this point, I'm looking for this guy. So I go to the 23rd Street, and I'm screaming Jerry's name, Jerry, Jerry, Jerry. And the other homeless, they were looking at me, and they were like, what happened, what happened? And I'm like, help me find Jerry, help me find, I need to talk to him right now. And they're like, oh, is everything okay? Everything is okay. He's not in trouble. Believe me, he's not in trouble. And right behind me comes the police officer.
There's a cop. There's an officer right behind you.
And they're
He's not in
looking
trouble.
at me, and then I look back, and I said, no, don't mind him. He's not in trouble. I promise you he's not in trouble. So they helped me and go to the beach sand because he was selling coconuts. So they look at the sand, they bring Jerry. And once I see Jerry, I don't say anything. I just grab the phone, and I said, here, talk. And he was like, what? So he goes on the phone, and then, oh my God, he started talking to his sister. And then everybody was crying. Everybody was crying. So if you go on my website, you can see a picture. I asked somebody to take a picture of Jerry, myself, and Sergeant Yamoka, and the stories there. So that's one of the stories that's really
amazing.
And then the news, saw as well. We ended up on the news because they came. That was like in November. So in December, the sisters came to
They came. I was
visit
going to
him.
ask. I'm like, did they get reunited?
Yes,
Okay, good.
yes.
Oh my God. And I'm sure it's one of like dozens, if not
That's
hundreds, maybe.
And let me tell you something else. Just yesterday with a particular shelter individual that had a downside. He was very successful before, had a downside, and now he put it himself together, and he's going back to his normal. He just opened his own company yesterday.
Oh my God.
So that's another one. He's going to
amazing.
be on my gala. He's going to be one of the successful stories in my gala.
That's amazing.
And not only that, and we are working together because he's going to be my real estate client as well.
That's
He already is. I got his place, for rent, but now he wants to buy. So we are working on that.
That's amazing. And I mean, it's just again, that tangible effect of the work that you're doing. And I'm sure that that's the most heartwarming,
Oh my
rewarding
God,
thing for you.
it is, it is. Sometimes I have to be careful because I dedicate too much time for that, and I forget that I have to pay my bills.
You have to work at some point.
Yeah, I forget sometimes.
Well, we can talk about, I want to hear more stories, and we can talk for hours, I'm sure. But we need to wrap it up. So the last question that I have for you is, if you could go back in time and talk to your younger self, what piece of advice would you give her?
You know what? I would say start earlier.
Okay.
Start earlier and get more people involved earlier. When I first got started, like I said, it was 33 years ago here because of the safety issue.
Right.
I'm originally from Brazil, São Paulo, and I tried to start that. In my defense, I tried to start there, but it was not safe. But back then, I could have started talking to people. Even that perhaps going to the streets would not be safe, but I could have put a group together and start at least educating people there what it means. So we could have started a movement, back then. So I would say start earlier and get more people involved faster. Because I'm a doer, you know.
I know you're like, I just want to get it done. I want to get it done. I want to accomplish it. But you have done so much, and I know that you will continue to keep doing so much.
Help not doing it.
Right? You can't help helping. That, I think, if we've taken anything away from today, is that we know that Valerie is a doer and a giver and is so passionate about our community, and we're very lucky to have you in Miami Beach. So thank you for everything that you do for us. And this has been another episode of Business Beyond the Beach. Thank you all for joining and watching. Again, my name is Brittnie Bassant, President and CEO of Miami Beach Chamber of Commerce. This is in partnership here with our friends at Miami Community Newspapers. Another big thank you to Maman for generously sponsoring our coffee for today. And you guys stay tuned for another episode next week.